Maxie, I've been thinking, should we do season 3 on the Dr. Joe show? You sure? You sure it's a good idea? So turning our box back over and going to our original stickers that we were looking at, we see right away, because we've been watching the Dr. Joe show and we've studied all of Dr. Joe's videos, we know that there's a problem. Well, why? Well, because this sticker right here didn't come out till around 2005. These stickers were started being adhered to boxes around 1994. But from 1994 all the way through 2004, they didn't have the words under the Habanos. They were just the leaf and the Habanos. There are different types. 2005 all the way through 2008/2009, that's this type. And then after 2009, they have the type you see today with the little DOP put up in the corner. So this is from 2005. Yeah, but this box is from 1999, so that doesn't make sense. All right, well, let's take it a little further. Let's take a look at our seal here. Our seal here has some other important information. The serial code. Excuse me while I smoke. The only thing we're concerned about when it comes to the serial code on the government seal, on the old type of government seal, is the first letter. Because the first letter can be matched to a year. I appeared on on seals throughout various years, actually. Well, what years were they? Well, the thing is, I appeared on seals anywhere from 2006 to 2009. Again, well, that matches this. That's cool. But it doesn't match this. It doesn't match this. 1999. So we are looking at a seal that's telling us it's from somewhere between 2006 2009, and we're looking at a Habanos SA seal that's telling us it's from after 2005, but we're looking at a stamp on the bottom that's telling us 1999. Huh. Interesting. So 2005 this started, 2006 I started, so now we're saying the box without this, 2006 and up. But it's impossible because the stamp on the bottom says 1999. But let's say there was no stamp on the bottom. Let's say the bottom was a modern factory code that matched everything on this box. Okay, well, then we'll open it up and we'll see what we have inside. Okay, what's the first thing you notice? First thing you do is look at this, because they never fucking get this right. And my personal message to counterfeiters is, don't try to make the rounded corners. You're never going to get it right. You're always going to fuck it up. Look how sloppy that thing is. Look at that thing. It's awful. It also doesn't have the white embossing around the edge. It's absolutely awful. They'd be better off fooling people if they just did a perfect rectangle. Much easier to cut. So now we're saying to ourselves, okay, something's definitely wrong. This box, most of us are probably saying this box is fucking fake. You got 1999 stamp with 2005, 2006 stickers and seals. And then you look inside and you got a sloppy, crappy seal. All right, but take it a step further. Let's say that seal was fine. By the way, here's a nice cedar sheet with a nice, perfect rounded corner. So to those of you guys obsessing about rounded corners versus edged corners, it's not everything. All right, so here we go. This, again, this is the version, and I circled a few things there. See where it says these Habanos? Well, that was changed. The original said these Habanos. And actually, it changed back to Habanos and then back to Habanos again. The modern ones say Habanos. So they keep changing it. This is the second issue one, which came out, again, around 2005. So, also, there's no spacing error here. The original one, which would have been in a box from 1999, would have had the spacing error. This one has no spacing error. So again, this matches everything in the box except the box date. It's the one thing that gave these guys away, and that's probably why it looks so faded. They probably did their best to rub it off without making the box look like shit. Who knows? Anyway, throwing this to the side. Wow, my cigar fucking popped. It's too cold down here, too fast. Yeah, you see. This cigar was being kept in a nice, warm, cozy humidor. It's still smoking fine, believe it or not, but it's so cold down here that it just couldn't take it. Once I hit that, it's I don't know what's going to happen. That's unfortunate. It's still smoking good, though. Delicious. They're coming along beautifully. All right, so here we go. Rounded corner. Nice and thick. You know, almost has like a rubbery kind of... I mean, this thing is great. This thing is great. This is definitely a real fucking piece of work right here. Stamped, burnt in. This came with the box, and that's the real deal. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice fake. Very, 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 very good quality fake, except for the sticker, all right? And all this stuff on the outside is fine because they don't expect fucking people to know. The kind of people who are buying this stuff that they're pushing this stuff on, man, you know, they're lucky if they know anything about, like, it's saying, oh, this matches that. Okay, they look at the bottom. They don't even know what those things mean. They're like, oh, well, I don't know. It was just another stamp. They may actually add stamps like this to draw your attention away from this. I don't know why. They could have just rubbed this thing out, but they chose not to. I guess they figure, hey, we're going to sell it anyway. And guess what? They did. So we're going to open it up, and here are our Cohibas. Cohiba Piramides. Wow. All right. Looking good. Well, let's take a closer look at some of these pyramids, shall we? I took a few good pictures. And I think now is a good time to show them to you because it's going to be hard for me to get any close-ups of what I'm talking about here. But what I want to show you, number one, is they're using two different kinds of bands. Both bands are counterfeit, by the way. They're very, very good counterfeits, but they're counterfeits nonetheless. And if you look, most of the bands have a nice, shiny, black, lacquered type of finish as far as the checkers, black and white checkers go. Looks very real, looks right. The band's size seems a little small, actually. And then you look here, and these two right here, it's like the printer started running out of juice. The black and white checkers are faded. They have a matte finish instead of a gloss finish. And guess what? So does the lettering. The gold lettering looks like brushed gold, while the rest of the Cohibas are really, really shiny like the real thing. So, again, even if we knew nothing about the box, and even if we neglected to see how terribly this sticker is cut out, we look at the bands and start saying, oh, you know, some of these bands look different. They're all lined up nice. They're all kind of nice and tight. You know, they're not sliding around or anything. They look good. But what about the cigars, all right? Actually, you know what? Pause. Take a look at these pictures. All right, hope you enjoyed that little show. Basically went over everything we looked at so far and showed you in close detail everything I'm talking about. All right, so now what? So now just to wrap things up, we look at the cigars. Are they Cuban? Well, here's what I'm talking about when I say this type of vein, this type of wrapper leaf, where when finished you get this varicose type vein, these very thin veins. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. That's something I like to see. However, I don't like to see a really expensive premium Cohiba looking like that with way too many of them. This just does not look like the quality of wrapper leaf they would use on such a prestigious cigar. This looks more like kind of wrapper leaf. They wouldn't even use this on a Partagas P1. It kind of looks like a house blend leaf or something you get of a rustica, you know, a handmade Cuban cigar on the island. Definitely not something you would find in a high quality box. Too many. Just way too many. You know? And you look at the rest, you look at it as a whole, the coloring's kind of off. You know, some are red or brown, some are more tan. Not only that, but they're kind of lumpy. You look at the heads, which are really hard to see here, and they're actually fairly well done for fakes, but definitely not Cohibas. Definitely not Cohibas. That looks nothing like the feet I've been showing you over the last year. Definitely not Cohibas. So why don't I turn this around and give you that little secret of why you didn't need to know any of this in the first place. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The fucking latch, when I opened the latch just fell right off. But it's a good latch. It's heavy. Schmale, Germany. Look at that. Yeah, that's a real Cuban cigar box. Let's get situated. Now, I really think this is a great episode because it really shows you how to give a box the once over. And it uses an example of one of the most counterfeited cigars in the entire world. Monte Cristo's probably counterfeited just as much, but Cohiba's worth the most money. Money per capita. So they do their best to make these look very genuine. They need to work on their stickers. They're just absolutely awful. I'm giving them advice. You know, they should probably try to hire me. Fucking go in there and say yeah, and then end up burning their whole factory down. Go in as a fucking spy. Okay, so Dr. Joe is arrested for burning down counterfeit Cuban cigar factory. How many views would that get me? Well, that's a good cigar. Even with the crack in it, it's just burning like a champ. That's a tatuaje for you, man. So 25 Cohiba Pyramids. What is the secret I want to share with you of why you didn't need to know anything I told you if you had done your Cuban cigar homework? The answer is there is no such thing as a box of 25 standard production Cuban Cohiba Pyramids. Period. No such fucking thing. Is there a Cohiba Pyramid? Yes, but it doesn't come in boxes of 25, and when it was released, it used the hologram bands, not these bands. Was there a box of special release Cuban Cohiba Pyramids? Yes, several actually. The closest that this one comes to is the one from 2001, the Edition Limitada 2001, the very first Cuban Cohiba Edition Limitada release.